Today's meditation is going to focus on healing the physical body. And I invite you to call to mind a symptom that you're experiencing now. So it could be something that's very familiar to you, that's ongoing. It could be something that's passing through, like a headache or fatigue or inflammation somewhere. So see if, rather than going in with the mind to look for the most obvious symptom, you just hear my invitation and then allow the symptom to offer itself up. Symptoms are portals into intuitive guidance around caring for our bodies in such a way that will heal not only the symptom, but the entirety of our physical system. And they're also portals to activating soul qualities that will contribute more authenticity and power to our lives. So you're just allowing that symptom to just rise into consciousness. You're not focusing on it, although there might be images that come to mind. It might become accentuated in your experience, and all of that is fine. And to really begin, I invite you to start with your actual physical body. So just bringing awareness to the substance, the weight, the density of your physical tissues. So there's a sense of that as you close your eyes. There's a sense of the body being dense and then the space around you being less dense. This vessel that you have been living in, and that has been ever changing since the moment you were conceived. And here you are, the eternal soul, living in this ever-changing vessel. And let's begin by really noticing how the body rests down into the earth, into this ongoing source of holding and support. Not as a concept, but more as just notice where your feet are touching the ground, where your legs, your buttocks, depending on how you're sitting, where there's actual contact with the solidity of the ground below. And let this be a felt experience, a direct experience, rather than an interpretive experience. Just noticing the meeting of your physicality with the physicality of the ground, of the chair, of the cushion. Notice that that meeting place may even begin to sort of fade. It's not so much of a line as it is a territory where there's a blending of body and ground, where the body ends and where the earth begins becomes vague, becomes more spacious, you could say. And in that meeting, and in that bringing consciousness to the meeting of the body with the ground, there is a connection, there is communication. So noticing as you settle here, perhaps to begin, it's just this sense of feeling more connected than you did a few minutes ago. But the more we practice this, the more we open up the lines of communication with the very being that is going to assist us with the healing and that is always assisting us with the manifestation of our true being in this lifetime, and that is the earth herself. There's so much wisdom there, so much guidance, so much intelligence, so much support. Don't look for it. Just really let your main intention be to just remain here in this meeting place between body and ground. It will be less than interesting for the mind, but what we're connecting to here is other forms of intelligence. You may begin to notice that as the system really takes in the depths of the support that is here, it begins to relax into it. You may feel that as a softening in the muscles, a loosening in the joints, perhaps even tingling and warmth, a sense of flow. Allow the breath to rise up from the earth and fall back down to the earth through your being. Good. Now call to mind once again, just to refresh it in the field, the symptom that you would like to heal, to transform, to integrate. And as you call that symptom to mind, notice how the breath might shift or change, or even just notice how it is. Many times when we are facing a symptom, the system can tend to become somewhat contracted and the breath can shorten. So that may or may not be the case for you, but just notice that and allow the breath to be as it is. This is our first doorway. And so now in our consciousness, we're holding both symptom as well as simultaneously, and there is space for both, the sense of the breath moving through. And you may even feel the breath brushing up against the area where the symptom is. And so let's just rest here as we allow the breath and the symptom to coexist and to inform each other. Let go of looking for solutions for now in favor of simply listening to the vast stream of intelligence that is already here, pulsing through your every moment. The looking and the seeking actually interferes with that natural stream of intelligence. It distracts us, and it's usually much louder than the quiet whispers of the soul. So let that all go and simply hold space for both the symptom and however it's registering in your body right now, as well as the breath. You may notice that the breath has changed since we first connected to it. That taking time to notice the breath in the context of a symptom somehow gives it permission to find its way to greater ease. And now when you think about that symptom, so we'll just be titrating it in every once in a while. What do you notice in your body? What sensations? Are there overall feelings of, say, fatigue or resistance, or is there a particular area where it expresses in the body? Is it heavy? Is it light? Is it numb? Is it cold or warm, hot? So it's just a noticing, and the naming is just really to acknowledge the noticing. It's not to then go into interpretation. And the body is, of course, being given permission to express exactly as it is. And there too, when you approach it in this way, you may begin to notice some shifts, some changes. So as we include the various ways of knowing one at a time, consciousness is naturally expanding, and you may feel that as an overall sense of spaciousness, of connection within your being, of harmony, greater harmony. Beautiful. And now when you again titrate that symptom back in again, and to refresh it in consciousness, also open to any feelings or emotions that arise in the context of it. Though oftentimes when a symptom does arise, there are associated feelings. It could be simple resistance, it could be judgment, it could be fear, anxiousness, confusion, doubt, maybe kindness. Maybe you've worked with the body in this way and you feel that there are soft qualities, welcoming qualities that arise for you, which is also, of course, beautiful and is going to contribute in its own way. But oftentimes we have to go through and the fear and the anxiety and the doubt before we get to those qualities that are more the essence of the soul, which is, of course, welcoming our experience always exactly as it is, and knowing that everything that arises is sacred, including the challenging feelings that might show up. And so notice where those feelings live in your body and just acknowledge them. Let them be here and part of the constellation that is this particular symptom. So it's not just a physical symptom. There are thoughts associated with it. There are feelings associated with it, physical sensations. And what we are working our way towards is the soul intelligence associated with it that is coming through this particular symptom. But until we let go of fighting with the other parts of our experience, there's no space here to really receive the soul transmission, the soul lessons, and the soul guidance. That's it. At this point, you may also be noticing what energy centers are most activated in the context of this particular symptom, and you want to open to those as well. Trust that they're doing everything they can to contribute to the clarity, to the dawning clarity. So if an energy center feels particularly activated in the context of this symptom, it's that it has a role to play, that this meditation, this way of approaching a symptom, is actually giving it permission to do the work and to give the assistance that it's here to. And so you might feel like there's quite a bit of activity in one of the centers. And so let it. Let yourself not understand exactly what's going on. And let yourself lean into trusting the body, trusting the energy body, the nervous system, all the gifts that you have been given. To contribute, each one in their own way. And as we bring in all of these ways of knowing, and as we make space for them and give each one some time and some space to be acknowledged, you may notice that the sense of presence begins to increase, that there's this, yes, there's an awareness of your experience and all the different layers we just went through, but there's also a greater sense of spaciousness, a greater sense of yourself as a spiritual being, so that the body may feel less dense, the edges of the body may disappear. And so for the remainder of the meditation, I invite you to sit here and to really orient towards letting go of tending to the symptom itself and tending to the emotional and physical realms. All of that, just let all that go. It will continue to happen and it will continue to show up. But for now, we are stepping into the place that all of these ways of knowing have brought us to. It will feel um, more spacious. It will feel perhaps more peaceful, more curious, more connected. And let's just rest here. We've done all that we can to open up the channels of communication. And whether we receive intuitive guidance now or later, essentially we've opened up the channels. And so the communication will be ongoing and will become deeper and deeper as we practice this way of relating to our body and to the symptoms that arise. As we remember that our body is an ally, it has our best interest in mind always. It's always doing its best to serve us. What we're doing here is we're opening to hearing how we can do our best to serve our body. It's a mutual caring